everybody. Thanks for joining me today. Today's video, our experiment, is going to be creating sea pottery out of this old ceramic saucer. So what we're going to do is take it outside, break this down into ideal size pieces for the projects I have in mind, and we will bring it back inside and fill the tumbler, which we'll set for roughly 7 days. Alright, we're outside and we're on the deck. We're simply going to take this saucer, put it inside the Ziploc bag, and using a ball peen hammer, smash it into workable size pieces, or ideal size pieces for the project I have in mind. Now we're going to add the pre-made sea glass that is slightly too large for the project I would like to do. We will add it to the bag and also break those up into smaller pieces. We're done. Alright, now we're back inside. So we've got our pieces, the sizes that we want for the projects that we have intended. And it's fairly small, you know? Small pieces like that. All we're gonna do is put them in the tumbler. It's a decent sized piece. Couple larger size pieces, maybe for more interesting pendants if I make jewelry out of it. Anyways, we're going to take all of our pieces and we are going to put them into the rock tumbler basin. And then we're going to fill it with other aggregates to help it break down and smooth down over the time that it spends in the tumbler. We're now ready to fill the tumbler with the components that are going to help us refine our sea pottery over the time that it spends in the tumbler. What we're going to do for that is we're going to use some crushed up seashells. So I did the same thing with the seashells outside with the ball peen hammer in the Ziploc bag, just crush them down to sharper, smaller pieces. It's going to help grind up in the tumbler. In addition to the seashells, we're going to use small aggregate stones. Not much different than what you would find on the beach, except they are, well, they're fairly rough. They're not smooth stones, they're coarse to the touch, and they vary in size from small to kind of tiny. Another thing we are going to use in the tumbler is this sand. This is decorative sand, just purchased from the local dollar store. It's larger than normal sand that you would find on the beach, but I think it's going to be helpful to refine the edges of the pottery. Another thing that we have available to us if we chose to use is leftover pieces from a previous sea glass experiment. In this foil container, I have leftover sand, shells, and aggregate stone that we used previously, which are still good and could be reused if we chose to. final thing we're going to use inside our tumbler is water. We're going to fill the tumbler. Right now, presently, it's filled to just above halfway, maybe 2/3 full of stones, sand, shells, and the materials that we want to refine. For the rest of this, we will fill it with water, and we're just going to make sure it comes to the top of our materials. Just like that. So not covering it exactly. Some stuff is still sticking up above the water, but that is the maximum that we are going to fill this, because we want to make sure that there's room for everything to mix together and rub against each other in the tumbler. We're going to close up our tumbler. Now that we have our tumbler filled, we're going to turn it on and we're going to come back and see what it looks like after 7 days. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this video and you want to see more videos similar to it, don't forget to subscribe. Setting our tumbler for 7 days at top speed number 3. Welcome back. It's been 7 days. We've had our sea pottery in the tumbler, and we are going to take the lid off and we are going to see what this looks like. Before we do that though, some of the materials that we're using today is a strainer, a jug of water to be able to clean off the sea pottery, and a bucket, because the slurry that is inside here, we don't want to put it in our sink or toilet or any of our plumbing. So what we're going to do is we are going to strain the tumbler contents through the sifter into the bucket and clean it off by pouring water over the contents of our strainer. So now that we've emptied the tumbler, we're simply going to separate all of the things that were inside, such as the glass, the sea pottery, the stones, the grit, and the shells. Some of these things we will be able to reuse for another project in the future, and things that we feel are not reusable, we will simply just separate and dispose of. The pottery seems to have turned out quite smooth. So none of the edges are rough. And I was surprised to see that there is still the pattern on the ceramic, which is excellent. That is exactly what I was hoping for. There are a couple of pieces in the tumbler that are not smooth, so that tells me that this is a fresh break, and I have to figure out what piece that came off of, because that likely means that there is a broken piece that split throughout the tumbling process and will not likely be usable because it'll be too sharp. Okay, so this is our finished product. The materials that we can reuse for a future project I've just placed in this tray, and I've separated the sea glass as well as the sea pottery. So this turned out well, in my opinion. It's to my liking. Every edge is smooth. I still have the picture on it from the original ceramic, so that would probably make a nice pendant. If you like this video and you found it helpful, hit the like button. If you want to see future videos similar to this, hit the subscribe button. Thanks for watching.